Let's talk about getting rates on our rhythm strips. And to learn rates, we're just going to talk about ventricular rates, the R to R, and we're looking at QRSs. For the 6-second rule, we're going to count the number of QRSs in a 6-second strip, take that number times 10 to get our beats per minute or R rate. In the above example, we have 8 QRSs in a 6-second strip, and that gives us 80, and that's a good ballpark. But let's get even more accurate, counting big blocks and little blocks, shall we? Here we count the number of big blocks between 2 QRSs, and I count 1, 2, 3, 4 big blocks as indicated by the yellow vertical lines. The equation is 300 divided by the number of big blocks, which is 4. 300 divided by 4 is 75, and that's pretty accurate. We're fine-tuning it. Let's get even closer. Let's count the number of little blocks between those QRSs. I count 21. The equation is 1500 divided by the number of little blocks, or 1500 divided by 21, which gives us 71, which is even more accurate. Now there's an interpolation rule. I'll explain that in another video, but when we do that, we get 72. As you can see, the 6-second rule gets us pretty darn close. We had 80, but when we counted little blocks, we got 75, and ultimately pretty close to the final answer of 71 when we counted little blocks. It just depends on whether you're doing the math in your head, on paper, or on a calculator, and on these days, most of us using smartphones. Let's look at a practice example. Here's a strip. Let's identify a section that is 6 seconds. When we do that, we count QRSs. I count 7 QRSs. 7 times 10 is 70. But let's count big blocks to get a little more accurate. So we find 2 QRSs, first one falling on a big block, and count the number of big blocks between those QRSs, and I count 1, 2, 3, 4. So the equation is 300 divided by 4, which is 75. Let's get even more accurate and count little blocks. So I'm going to count 5, 10, 15, 20, 21 little blocks. We're calling the equation 1500 divided by the number of little blocks, or 1500 divided by 21 gives us 71. And let's check the math. On the next slide, 1500 divided by 21 is 71. So there's 3 different mathematical ways to get the rate from the 6-second rule through to counting big blocks or little blocks, and I'll get to interpolation on the next video. This is a multi-part series to cover basic rhythm strip interpretation. I thank you for watching and remind you that this series was requested by TikTok viewers who wanted a refresher or more education on 12 leads.